Hi, welcome to Whiteboard Friday. I'm going to be talking through the journey that you embark upon when you notice a sudden change in traffic to a particular page on your site. In our case, this was a sudden and consistent increase, which may, on the face of it, look great. You may perceive that this is exactly what you and your clients have been striving for. But as we know, traffic funneling into your site isn't the end of the story. You're also going to want that traffic to convert. But also, when something like this happens, there can be other lessons that you can learn and potentially apply to other pages and areas of your site. I'm Jo, I'm the Learning Team Manager here at Moz. We create all the course material that you'll see on the Moz Academy. This is where you can advance your SEO education and earn your Seo Essentials certification. We also write the documentation for how to use the Moz tools, and this is where our story begins. Over the summer, we noticed a fairly drastic increase in visitors to a particular Mozbar help page. We wanted to go beyond trying to understand why we're getting that traffic and turn this into an opportunity to support our company goals. So when you see something like this happen, your first question might reasonably be, why? Why are we getting this traffic? What has changed? What has caused this? And also, what do we already know through the metrics we're collecting? On the Moz Learning Team, we track top-level metrics monthly, including unique visitors. We also collect visitor sentiment through the feedback button on the page. And we also collect reporting every month in our Moz Pro campaign, using Keyword Explorer and Link Explorer as handy research tools in our toolkit. So first of all, we had a dig into the monthly metrics on a more granular level. We looked at the cadence of the traffic in Google Analytics to see if this was a sudden spike or a consistent trend over time. Now, before you can be totally confident in the quality of your Google Analytics data, you may want to clear up and filter that data. You can learn all about this in the SEO Essentials certification. With this course, we take you through our SEO methodology, which helps you to approach SEO strategically. This is made up of 5 sections: research, audit, optimize, amplify, and iterate. Reporting sits in the 5th section of the methodology, which is iterate. Within that, we break it down into awareness metrics, on-site activity, and the all-important conversions. The lessons in the SEO Essentials certification take you through this in much more detail, and you can download the SEO report card when you purchase this course. So back to what we saw in Google Analytics, we noticed an upward trend that also reflected the pattern followed by our previous traffic trends. We saw these scallop shapes, which nicely line up with the weekdays and the weekends. And you may be used to seeing a different shape depending on your industry. We also looked at referral data in Google Analytics and compared this to what we saw before the spike. We also looked at how traffic was entering and exiting that page through Google Analytics, and we had a dig around in Google Trends to see if we could identify any related topics taking off. I'm tracking the help section of the moz.com domain in my Moz Pro campaign, and I have this connected to Google Analytics. And this pulls in the overall visits and landing pages. This is the data that you'll see in the acquisition section of Google Analytics. So while my team is focused primarily on one area of Moz.com, this gives me an idea of where this page sits as a percentage of search traffic in relation to other landing pages. Now, this is where it all starts to come together. Under the Rankings tab in my Moz Pro campaign, I can now see the landing page data cross-referenced with my tracked keywords and their rankings. So I can also see search volume and estimated visits for each tracked keyword. We also entered the Mozbar URL into Keyword Explorer to review the ranking keywords for that URL, and then added these keywords to my existing campaign to track them over time. We know that SEO and SEO reporting is iterative, so by building out your tracked keywords in this way, this will help you to fill in the blanks as to which keywords are sending traffic to your site. We also saw some interesting data from the visitor satisfaction button. This is the thumbs up or thumbs down option that you can select on this page. and generally indicates if the content was helpful or not. And we saw that there were a lot more people responding that this content was indeed helpful. So this is not only positive for my team and I, but it's also informative. And it gave us a really good idea that the content on this page was generally matching the intent of the visitors. So we looked at all of this together and we drew some conclusions. It didn't seem like this visitor traffic was coming from one particular source or campaign that we could reasonably attribute this to. It looked like it was reflecting our previous traffic trends, just a lot more of it. And so it's probably quite important now to explain a bit more about the page that we are investigating. The page is about Mozbar. It's an overview of how to use our free Chrome extension. Now, it would also be remiss of me not to mention the fact that we have had a massive shift this year in terms of changes to our lives and businesses due to COVID-19, which has had a massive impact on how people spend their time, how businesses are run, and many, many other areas of our lives. So after we looked at data for that page, in addition to all the other reporting metrics, we took a step back and we thought, well, what is this page about and how has this shift impacted demand for these types of tools? Because of these two things, nothing else really standing out as a flag to indicate a single event and this global change, we started to lean towards this being part of an increase in demand for free tools. Mozbar is a free extension that sits at the top of your Chrome browser, and it displays link metrics for your pages that you visit on the web. It's also got some other handy features like the ability to highlight different types of links, so it can show you internal or external links on a page, and to check your on-page elements and so on. So with all of this information we collected, we're now circling around understanding what caused this. And the trick for us wasn't just to figure out why this was happening or why it happened, but to turn this into some kind of positive action. So what we decided to do was to test driving traffic directly from these pages, or this particular page, to our key Moz initiatives. So this would be our personalized one-to-one walkthroughs of the Moz Pro tool and the Moz Pro free trial. This was a quick edit for my team. We could add those in there fairly quickly to test this out. We already know that this page is doing a stand-up job of helping people to understand how to use Mozbar. So let's see if they are interested in our other SEO tools. We added links to this page to help people identify what to do next once they'd given Mozbar a go. And what we found out was that we are indeed seeing people taking us up on this offer. And they are clicking through to have a chat with our excellent onboarding team and also to check out the Moz Pro 30-day free trial. So with this relatively small amount of effort from my team, we've now started to collect data on visitor behaviour that can better inform future decisions and future projects. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this helps.